I'm James Quigley. I'm chairperson of the Buncrana Against Irish Water. It's a local group here in Buncrana, just dealing with the area here around Buncrana. Anita, the guest here speakers tonight is Anita and Gary Collins. Now they're from Drogheda, Moneymore in Drogheda. This is a massive estate. Anita and Gary will tell you more about it and about their campaign. The agenda tonight there now is, I'll just, a couple of wee things I want to say there, but then it's going to go over to Anita and Gary for the main part of it, and they'll follow a certain amount of questions. I'll go through them sort of thing, maybe it might be best. The main points, the size of their estate, the general area of it, how they got going, how they organised, types of setting up phone trees, signs, notices, websites they used. On day when Irish Water installers came, what was their procedure? What did they do? How did they protest outside their homes, outside their neighbours, on other estates? What did they say to installers? Garda. Then the next one would be, what rights do we have as householders, council tenants, private tenants? What was the plan if you were not in when installers arrived? And then the agreement that they had, this is an agreement that these people had between the Gardaí and the installers and Irish Water. And it's a sort of initiative that happened down there. It sort of developed from their protests, and it's sort of kind of ongoing at the moment. So when we heard about this, it was a sort of a line that we thought we might sort of investigate. And that was the agreement was that they would let the installers put in water meters to people that wanted them, but they had to respect the people that didn't want them. I thought that was a kind of a common sense approach, and it would, especially down there, the protests could have got out of hand just like that, and it's up to these people here who prevented that. They'll tell you more about it anyway. And without further ado, I want to thank Gary and Anita Collins for coming up from Drogheda, all the way from Drogheda. And the story that they had to tell, although it can't be told in an hour or so, is amazing. Okay, so we'll go for the first point there, is the size of the estate and general area.
Yeah. We live in an estate called Moneymore, and it's made up of 6 actual small estates. We have 573 houses. The biggest estate would be Moneymore itself. It's 245 houses. We have Lawrence's Park, 115, Lawrence's Drive, 101, Leah Brega, 69, Hawthorne Terrace, 33, and another little place called Hawthorne Close only has 8. So that makes up the 573 houses. Now, on the 1st of December, the residents of Moneymore alone, there's only one road in and one road out to all our housing estates. At 6:30 in the morning, they decided to come in, Irish Water, with all their machinery, all their workers, and start to blitz the area. Only for Gary was walking the kids to the bus stop and saw them, it was like, okay, we need to get up and we need to do something. So we had to run to Moneymore, knock doors, get people out and say, look, Irish Water are in, they're going to put in meters. On that day they put in 13 meters. There are 6 meters still left there to this day. Those 13 meters were not wanted. We held our very first meeting on, well actually, not finished there, going back to the 1st of December, by 8:30 we had 3/4 of Irish Water workers leaving our housing estate because it started to get heated with people, and the main reason was the majority of them were hungover from 3 parties the night before. They don't like people coming in and stepping on their toes. The only people who should have been in Moneymore 6:30 in the morning were the residents of Moneymore alone, or anybody within those 6 housing estates that would walk through to go to work or go to school or whatever. So we knocked doors, got people up. Irish Water started to leave. We had coffees working with us. We weren't lucky enough to have GMC as of yet. They're on their way, so we were told. But we had 3/4 of them leave. We had 4 guards by 8:30 enter our estate. They sat in the car, they got out, they chit-chat with us, got back into the cars. We're about to leave. We had 18 other guards come with 4 sergeants. So we had 22 plus 4. Then we had superintendent and an inspector arrive. Drogheda doesn't have that many guards working on Paddy's Day when there are killings in our town. They don't have that many guards when there's a bank being robbed in our town. They don't have that many guards, full stop. There was actually, on the day when they were in Moneymore, there was a transit van robbed. And they couldn't get anybody out of it because they were down trying to bully kids. They manhandled children that day, they manhandled women, they manhandled a 63-year-old man down to the ground. As you can see some of the photographs up here, we have a certain guard who was directing coffees to continue to do his work, to carry a bucket of gravel over kids' heads, adults' heads, animals, there was cats, dogs, everything came out in force in Moneymore that day. People from the other housing estates arrived, they actually came from the other side of town to help out. Now, the guards will debate and say, we had a riot. That was a quiet day in Moneymore. That is an actual quiet day. They tried to bully their way in and say, look, we want these to put in the meters. We were like, we don't want meters. Nobody in this housing estate wants a meter. They're getting no work done. We sat for 4 hours. I sat for 4 hours with my legs wrapped around a digger. Because reason being, the guy did not put up barriers. He decided to dig at a 12-year-old's feet. So I had to go over, move the child out of the way and sit down and hold that barrier. The guy cried at 3:30, please let me go home, I need to get my dinner. I said, I had no breakfast, I'm here since 25 to 7. Like, please, cop on. The main guard that tried to cause all the trouble that day tried to get people's reactions heightened more than what they actually were, so he could arrest somebody. And then when he thought about it, there is only one road in, one road out. If he had have arrested one person, there was going to be an upscaled riot. So what we decided after this was, they left about 4:30, guards and coffees. We decided we would go and we would hold a meeting. We held our very first meeting in a green at 8:30 one night, a Thursday night, lashing rain. It was the 11th of December, the day after the big march. We had 35 people turn up, and we were like, what are we doing? We're losing battle, people don't want to know. So we decided on the 15th of December we would carry out a door-to-door survey in Moneymore alone, because it had 245 houses. Out of those 245 houses, we have 18 people who want a meter. And reason being, the majority of them, they bought their house, they want to sell. They are under the pretense that if they want to sell their house, they need to have a meter. Out of those 18 homes, 5 are community houses for the communities, so they have to. It's like a business, they need to have a meter. So we got over 99% people not wanting a meter. On the Thursday, Friday and the Saturday, 18, 19 and 20th of December, we carried a survey to the rest of the homes in the other 5 estates. We wanted 3 meters in one house, or 3 meters in one housing estate and 1 in another. So out of all those homes, with less than 25 meters being put in, we thought, right, that is it's a good start. We had our very first big meeting in the boxing club. No, actually, before that, the guards came up to us. They came up on the Wednesday after coming into Moneymore, the 3rd of December, asking, would we allow Irish Water back in to take the caps off some of the meters that they had put in against people's wishes? We said, yeah, 4 workers get in, come into the estate, they have 20 minutes and they have to leave. If they don't leave, we can't guarantee anybody's safety. They come in, they were out in 20 minutes. We met then, as I said, on the 11th of December, we held our first meeting. The 15th, we held our first survey. We decided to go to the guards and ask, can you set up a meeting with Irish Water, with Coffees, the contractors, and with yourselves, and the people carrying out the survey. And the reason we wanted to do that was we did not want a reoccurrence of what happened on December the 1st. We had 2 workers from Coffees meet with us. They debated for an hour, it got heated. There was 7 representatives there from the housing estates. It got very, very heated with them. They tried to tell us it was law, it was this, it was that. We were like, it's not law, it's legislation. Legislations are changed every day. One minute they were going by the Water Act 2007, then they were going by the Water Act 2013, which contradicts one that contradicts the other. So we actually came to an agreement that they would give us all 14 days. By law, Irish Water need to give every single person 14 days notice that they're coming to their home to put in a meter. They told us they'll give us 14 days, they will keep away. On the 26th of January, we had a second evasion, and it came into Hawthorne. They gave us 2 days notice. This was our notice. They have handwritten on the corner here, week ending the 31st of January. They come in on the 26th. They installed 6 meters. Myself and Gary, we were out manning the road. We manned the road every morning from 6 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. We had left for 10 minutes when they came in. So they were watching. They drove by us every morning. They see the high vis, they'd leave. Don't see high vis, that's when they're going to come in. So it's vital people get out there and man their roads as well every single day, whether they're in the town or not, because you don't know when they're going to hit you. They called the guards. We wouldn't let them put in any more meters. We told them, you're not getting into the rest of the housing estates. No chance. Turn around, leave. We're going to ring the guards. We had the main planner and the main foreman fight with myself and Gary in the middle of the road. And we said, look, I'll go ahead and ring the guards. You broke an agreement. Do what you want. Guards arrived. The main planner threw a strop like a 2-year-old would throw a tantrum. He was sick of us because we've been in every housing estate helping other people. He was like, I'm sick looking at their faces, they won't let me do my work, blah blah blah. And we said, look, we had an agreement. We went to the guard station. It was witnessed, I said, by community guard sergeant, superintendent and an inspector. So they did side with us. They said, look, it's you that are breaking the laws, the coffees. You need to turn around now and leave. And we said, well, we have 3 houses in one housing estate and one in another one to do want meters. We let them in to do those 4, but then they have to go. They have not come back to our housing estates since. So we had 13 who wanted a meter in Moneymore, not including the other 5, so that's 18 plus 3, 21, 22. We had 22 meters put in the housing estate of 573 people who lived there full time. And our thing to you is you need to go and you need to set up some kind of a thing to do a door-to-door survey, see who wants a meter, who doesn't. Don't let them feel intimidated that they have to have a meter if they don't want them. It's up to them. The next big step is mass non-payment. People will accept a meter and not pay. We understand that. Now there are some people who will pay. You can't feed a home to them. We're being robbed. 6 years this is going on. It's going to be the air that we breathe next is what they're going to tax us on. It's not us, it's our kids, and it's our kids' kids, like our grandkids. They're the ones that are going to suffer in the long run of all this. Now, after carrying out the survey and manning our road, we have seen other housing estates down our way do the same. Now, we did have an evasion of a huge housing estate where 100 vehicles came in, and they took in a bus full of workers, and each vehicle, whether it was a car, truck or a van, came in with another 3 workers. There was 400 workers in total and 100 vehicles. They come over the green area of this housing estate and they blitzed it out, all because it was a private housing estate. And the reason that they got in and done it was this housing estate had not been taken over by a council or by anyone else. So they thought they had the right to go in and do what they done. They didn't. They actually did. Excuse language, but they raped the people in Terminaby. That's the place where these houses were. They went in. These men for 6 weeks they manned their road. They were out. They had stopped them numerous times coming in, but because it was a winter's morning, the kids are walking along the footpath, and the likes of Irish Water, they don't care about your kids. They're up on a footpath. They're mounting it in trucks. They're mounting it in diggers. They don't care what's in front of them. The main thing you need to do, if you go now and set up little committees are vital, little residence committees, because there is a law there in the European law. I can't figure out where it is at the moment, but there is one that if you have a residence committee, you are nearly higher than the law once you have a residence committee, because the likes of Irish Water have to get in touch with the residence committee. And once you have your surveys carried out, your Gardaí are going to have to listen. If you have over 80% of the people saying no, we don't want a meter, and have names and phone numbers, have them on text alert, let them know, right, they're in this place at this moment, they're coming, get out, man your roads, and have everything done to structure. You can stop them coming into this town and putting in meters, and you can do it lovely. You don't have to go out, like, and see what happened on the morning of the 1st of December, when it, as they called it, a riot, and it did get heated. We can do it peacefully, and we can win this one way or another. We're going to win it one way or another, but people have to start believing. Like, we have asked TDs for help, we have asked councillors for help. Nobody wanted to know. On the 1st of December, 2 councillors sat in our local radio station, slating every water protester in Drogheda. Every single water protester. When they got the phone call in the radio station saying there's a riot in Moneymore, they come flying to Moneymore. We will sort this out. We'll speak with the guards. We will speak with Irish Water. We'll get this under control. We said, we have this under control. You're not wanted. You did not want to know us when we needed you. You only want to know us now because we have it under control. You want to be glorified and you want our votes. Well, do you know what? You can go and shout because you're not getting our votes.